Welcome to the sixth episode of Automation Campaign. Last episode we launched our sports car, the Lucciola, and now with emissions coming up, we will have to tweak our engine a bit to be compliant. So we'll do a facelift, and then add some quality, maybe an exhaust reactor to soak up some of the emissions. Very important, let's add in some quality to help with the emissions. Looks like we don't have an exhaust reactor. Do I really have to switch to cast? Looks like I have to. Or we could just not use it for now and see how things turn out. What I'd like to do is update the Koala to be more efficient to produce, as there is some demand, and same thing for the truck. My plan is to make them out of steel, which sadly we can't just change the panel material, and this means we'll have to redesign them both. I'll start with the Koala because it's more interesting, to be honest. So big thing, we'll make it out of steel, then mark out steel. And for the engine placement, I want this to be front wheel drive, as many cars of the time were transitioning to this. But we could do a longitudinal engine, since I've checked and it will work with the engine we have right now. It will cut down on costs since we have familiarity, and maybe help us a bit with other plans. For the front suspension we're going with double wishbone, so independent. We have some familiarity from the sports car, and for the back, not independent but semi-trailing arm, I think, so it has some comfort. It looks like we cannot pass emissions past 1976, and I really don't know what I should do. Should I nerf this engine? Do we wait it out? Let's say it's 1967. Let's suppose it takes a few years to release. I'd rather play it safe, because if we get hit by emissions, we're going to pay fines. So we'd be just good if these two didn't want it. But looks like we have to make our engine crappy. Very interesting. Even if you put the reactor or whatever, not the catalytic converter, we still can't get better emissions. So looks like we'll have to do without it, and then facelift at the last second. I'm not very comfortable doing it because you can get hit by penalties, but this literally does nothing. Alright, looks like we've engineered everything we could do. The emission situation is catchy, but we'll care about that later. Now it's time to design this car, and I'm done with it. I think this is probably the best design I've made. Actually, maybe no, but I like it a lot because it doesn't look like any other car, real or fictional. It's just its own thing. Maybe its side profile a bit, but otherwise, pretty original. One change I've made is make the gearbox a 5-speed because we get slightly better gas mileage and it drives better considering we don't have that much power. I've also made two other variants, a wagon and a sporty version with a 1.5 liter. I'll put the picture up with them so you can see them better. Now, the engineering is going to take 62 months, which and now we'll upgrade our factory. It looks like even just the tooling itself costs a lot, and the steel presses will cost even more. But that's how you make a lot of cars. This is how you succeed. And it looks like we may have to upgrade our engine factory. Our production efficiency just shot up, and we can sell them for much less. Now I will keep prices low so we can be competitive in the cheap car space. So it's probably going to be just as much as the old car, but now a whole lot better as a package. Now we will also update our pickup truck since it's getting old and it's inefficient because it's made with aluminium, so it will get the same treatment as the Koala, as in being made out of steel and in a medium factory. Yeah, the best body I could find is this one, even if it's base of a car, it's the most pickup like body I could find because the other ones are just cars and it's supposed to be a proper pickup. It's a bit older, but it'll do. It's fairly simple. So steel, ladder, steel because galvanized costs more because you need an extra module to the factory. We'll also use a 5-speed gearbox on this one as all other cars have it. We'll see if we need locking differential. Add that quality in because we can. Also disc brakes. Oh yes, I have also added disc brakes to the Koala, but just to the front only. Same goes here. Probably on the Lucciola I'll add them to all 4 wheels. We can go all out on the cooling. This helps with the utility cars, adds some reliability. Standard interior and basic radio, and also add that quality in. Standard safety with a bit of quality. Hopefully it helps with a ladder chassis. They are pretty bad for safety. It seems like safety is a problem, but maybe not that big. So 8.4 penalty, I can take that. Oh yes, now we'll tune our gears. It looks like we won't pass the West 5 emissions, but they come in as at the same time as West 6, so we'll just have to again work them out later. Yeah, we can also make the tires thicker. I'm pretty sure they're cheaper like this, and they're better for off-roading. And just like the Koala, I'll design the pickup and come back when I'm done. And I'm also done with the truck. It uses the same design as the Koala. I've literally copied the front grille for it, and for the rear it's sort of similar. And I've decided to change the name instead of 1500, 2500 to just U for utility and then 100 because it's a nice round number. And the pickup model will be 110 and the van 120. As for the engineering, I've already tweaked it to be the same as the Koala, 62 months, and because we have a lot of time to engineer it, we get a lot of reliability out of it and familiarity. On a second thought, even if we sell them for very cheap, we don't really end up using our factory. So this means I could spend a bit more in safety to remove that penalty. Looks like it still fails and has the same penalty, so never mind. I will just turn down the shifts because that seems to be the only way to keep up the production to the demand. 8,000, I think it will sell anyways, even if we overproduce, and then we can turn up the factory. And then now we'll also have to upgrade our engine factory. Do you go for the medium 3? I think we have to. Yeah, I've tweaked the engine a bit more, so it is more reliable because we have a lot of time to do it, and it's going to cost us 590 million, and like a very long repayment. This will sink our credit rating into the ground, but hopefully we can make back enough money and not get hit by the emissions. Actually, we still have to update the Lucciola with the new engines. I think the only change would be a limited slip differential. Yeah, that would help with sportiness. Oh yes, I always forget how insanely light this is. And I suppose we can just add magnesium wheels, at least for the premium model, so it's lightweight. Now I'll add in a bit of safety and new dampeners to help with the stats. And oh yes, I forgot, we'll use discs. And some better interior. And I could do with wider tires now that we are spinning the wheels. And the update is done, just a small grille change to get it in line with the other models. Now I'll make the base model with just the 1.3 engine. Now to engineer this, we can totally max out the sliders, like make it cheap, maybe a bit more automation and optimization, and a whole lot of reliability. Looks like this should do it, so it's now 603 million. I'll take out about 550. Oh yeah, oh yes, I think it's without factory, so about this much, and then again we pay it off in like 80 months. Cross our fingers, hope for the best. If you're wondering why I didn't wait for time to pass until the release of the new cars, it's because I'd like to make a prototype for a new engine and maybe a few other things before that. As for the truck, it can carry more due to the larger bed and it's easier to control than the old generation, as you can see on this twisty dirt road. The second generation of the Koala has a much better chassis that wobbles way less, but since it's now front-wheel drive, it is prone to understeer on corner exit if driven fast. Outside of this flaw, it's superior to the first generation. That's it for episode 6. I hope you enjoyed the cars and the new microphone. Stay tuned for the next episode where I will keep doing interesting things.